This session is designed to provide basic training on the use of the Hutch ELD. You should have already watched the Hutch ELD hardware overview prior to watching this session. If you have not yet watched the Hutch ELD hardware overview video, please do before watching this video. The Hutch ELD is a sophisticated mixture of software and hardware designed to fully comply with the FMCSA 2017 ELD mandate. It is also designed to present to the end user a simple interface that takes very little time to learn and use. When you become familiar with the Hutch ELD, it will consume less of your time than your paperwork does today. The mandate states that an ELD must be fully functional to remain compliant. In order for a driver to know that the ELD is fully functional and compliant, Hutch has built in a number of status icons and alerts to indicate if the ELD is not in compliance. In the event the ELD is deemed by the driver to no longer be compliant, the driver must revert to paper logs until such time the ELD can be repaired and brought back into compliance. As soon as a driver is aware that the ELD is malfunctioning, he must contact his manager immediately so that it can be repaired within 8 days as per the 2017 mandate. To use our online ELD simulator, you will require a company code to enter the session. If you do not know your company code, please contact your manager. Please note, a company code is not required to be entered into the ELD in your truck. This is strictly for access to the online training ELD system. The regulations state that a driver must be logged into the ELD system prior to starting the vehicle. You will see a message to please turn on the ignition. At this time, you will turn your key to the ignition on position, but do not start the engine yet. When the ignition is in the on position, you will be presented with a login screen. On this screen, Hutch has provided a quick reference guide located on the lower left of your screen. When you touch this button, an order of operations guide pops up. Please use this guide if you require a refresher on the sequence of events for operating the Hutch ELD. To exit the guide, simply press the return or back arrow. If you enter your username or password, but the ELD returns a message stating user not found, you will find a sync button at the lower right of your screen. By pressing this button, the ELD will download the latest access credentials in the database. To enter your username, simply press the username field here. You will be presented with a keyboard on the screen when using a real ELD, but for training purposes, we will be typing into a computer keyboard. To enter your password, simply press the password field here. Again, you will use the pop-up keyboard to enter your password. If you wish your password to be displayed, simply press on the little I located directly to the right of the password field. When your username and password are entered, press the Sign In button. When you first sign in, if there are any unidentified events in the ELD, you will be presented with them immediately. Unidentified events are events that occurred with the vehicle when a driver was not logged in. For example, if an engine is started and the vehicle has not logged into the ELD, it would show up here. The driver can simply press one or more of the events like this, then press the proceed arrow. This will enter the events into the driver's daily log on the date the event occurred. Once you assume an event or events, you will be required to enter the associated trailer number and commodity if applicable. After you enter the details, then press save. The next list presented is an uncertified logbook that may exist. If a driver forgets to certify his logs, they will always be presented at login as per the mandate. You can certify your logs in the exact manner we just learned to assume unidentified events. Press on one or more of the uncertified logs like this, press the Save button, and sign the mandated confirmation by selecting Certify. If you decide you are not ready to certify, simply select Not Ready. Prior to being presented with your daily log screen, you will be prompted to enter your trailer number and commodity number if applicable. Enter the required details, press save, and you will then be presented with your daily log screen. Your daily log screen is to be considered your home page. Here you will see the ELD status icons, time zone of your home base, truck information such as total miles, kilometers, and total engine hours, driver name, co-driver name if applicable, a flag to identify which rules you are driving under, as well as your current hours of service status. Of course, your current duty status grid is also displayed here. We will learn more about the ELD status icons in greater detail in the advanced training video. On the daily log screen or homepage, there are 3 main menus you may select from to access the various functions available within the system. The top left of the screen is the system menu. When selecting this menu, you will be presented with various options such as the ELD related menu, entering your DVIR or pre-post inspection details, switching to navigation, and various other functions. We will review these various selections in the advanced ELD training video. On the lower right of your screen, you will find the second menu, the Common Task button. This is a menu which enables you to quickly perform a variety of common tasks. Consider this a shortcut to various functions within the system. For example, here you are able to quickly certify your log, switch users, sync the database, undock the ELD, or select hours of service rules. We will examine these in further detail during the advanced ELD training video. The third main menu is the one that you will be using the most, the driver status change wheel. This is the big round button that looks like a steering wheel, located on the left-hand side of the daily log screen. This is the area that shows you the elapsed time in your current duty status. By pressing this wheel, you will be presented with the various duty statuses you can select from. You can select to be off duty, in sleeper berth, driving, on duty, and if special categories are allowed on your ELD, personal use of a commercial vehicle, or yard move. Below the duty status selections, you will find an annotation field. By pressing this field, you will be able to enter notes such as fueling at the Princeton card lock. We have also included some very common annotations. If you select one of them, it will appear in your log. Please note, when you enter an annotation, a keyboard will present itself on the screen. If at any time you need to make the keyboard disappear, simply press this return button found on the actual screen of the tablet. As usual, after entering an annotation, don't forget to press save. The Hutch ELD is designed for simplicity, but also to strictly adhere to the federal mandate. Regardless of which duty status you are in, if you start to drive and the vehicle gets up to 5 miles per hour, the ELD will automatically put you into drive. When this happens, you will see a drive gauge cluster pop up. This cluster is in real time and synced to the truck's ECM, so all the gauges will read accordingly to the vehicle's current operation. You will also notice that the ELD status icons are visible here, so that you are able to determine if the system is functioning correctly. If there is a malfunction in the ELD, you will see yellow and/or red indicators come on. Yellow is a warning. It states that something is currently not right, but the system is trying to self-heal. If it does self-heal, this indicator will turn off. If the red indicator lights, that is a malfunction indicator stating that the system was unable to self-heal, and you should start using your paper logs immediately. If the red malfunction indicator appears, notify your manager as soon as practically possible so that he can arrange for service quickly. When the vehicle comes to a stop, the daily screen will reappear, and you will note that your duty status is now in driving. When the truck starts moving again and the cluster reappears, if your ELD is too bright while driving at night, you can dim the ELD screen by pressing the speedometer like this. You will also see your remaining driving hours and total engine hours on this screen too. In between the driving hours and engine hours, if subscribed, you can also switch to navigation mode by pressing on the navigation button. You will see your drive hours remaining while in navigation. If you press this area, you will be returned to the gauge cluster. If you stop for lunch, to check brakes, or to use a restroom, etc., you should get into the habit of switching your duty status immediately by pressing the driver status change wheel and selecting the appropriate status. This will ensure you do not lose any valuable driving hours. If you do forget to switch your duty status, the system will wait for 5 minutes and then display a 60-second countdown screen. You can select to change status or keep driving. If nothing is pressed, the system will automatically change your status to on duty. If you do not return to the truck, you will remain on duty indefinitely. This is a federally mandated function of the ELD. If a driver accidentally stays on duty or selects the wrong duty status, he can edit the logs. To do this, scroll the screen to find the status that requires editing. Press it and then enter the new details. You are required to enter a reason for the editing and must be a minimum of 4 characters long. You will never be allowed to edit the actual driving time as per the mandate regulations. You may quickly change the hours of service rule you are under by pressing on the flag located on the daily log screen. Select the HOS rule you want and then press save. If you do not wish to change, simply press the X to close the window. You may also quickly enter a new trailer number if you change trailers. Simply press the little truck and enter the details and save the data. At the end of your driving shift, remember to always change your duty status to either off-duty or sleep or berth. At the end of your trip, and you are no longer in care and control of the vehicle, you should log out of the ELD as shown. Press the System menu, scroll down, and select Log Out as shown. Thank you for watching the Hutch Basic ELD Training video. You are now ready to proceed to the Hutch Advanced ELD Training video.